Hey there, Contractor Kev here with Overseas Contractor Academy, and today we're going to be talking about my experiences working in Baghdad, soon to be Bagram, or basically we're going to talk about working at the flagpole, working at the headquarters for some country overseas, and everything that entails. So stay tuned. Okay, so working at the flagpole, as we say. Working at headquarters in whatever country you're at, whether that's going to be Kuwait or Qatar or Iraq or Afghanistan, wherever it is, there's going to be a certain designated military base that's going to be the headquarters. And what that means is a lot of politics, a lot of generals and colonels, and a little bit of internal squabbling here and there. The problem is that colonels and generals are used to being decision makers. Those guys are used to running their own show.
Son, all I've ever asked of my Marines is for them to obey my orders as they would the word of God.
So when they all get in the same space, they're all trying to make all the decisions, and sometimes those decisions end up overrunning each other, and it requires a little mediation. What that means to you as a contractor is that it's not unusual for someone to come out with a new rule one day and a completely different rule the next day that overrides or supersedes the previous rule. And that's basically going to be the result of some colonel or general deciding something and his people put it out, and then some other colonel or general comes in and says, well, hold on, that's my area of authority, my area of expertise. I make those rules, we're going to do it like this. So when you work at the flagpole, basically you've got to be capable of being really flexible, not reactive to whatever new thing comes out, and just kind of go with the flow and see how things pan out over time. Don't react to any one new thing that comes out, because there's always going to be a new thing coming out. Another aspect to working at the headquarters location within any country, whether it's Baghdad or Bagram or wherever, is that it is likely to be overcrowded, because basically that's where all the decisions are being made, that's where the leadership is all housed, that's where all the leadership's people are being housed. And so when you go there, you've got to be flexible on the housing. You've got to know that basically the odds are you're going to end up in a shared room, something like that. Very rarely you will end up with your own room at the flagpole. It's much more likely if you go out to a satellite base somewhere, then you end up with your own room. But when you're going to a flagpole location, basically you're going to end up in a shared room. Pro tip, basically if you go to the flagpole, you are the most visible sign to the enemy, hey, we're here. You're right there where the flag is raised, and guess what? You're the biggest target. So there will be more than likely incoming fire at wherever location you're at. However, that being said, it is also where all the generals are, and so we're trying to protect that territory as best we can. So there's also the most countermeasures, there is the most safety there. So it is a bit of a different environment. There's a lot of smaller bases out there that simply never have any kind of incoming fire, never have any kind of threats, but the flagpole attracts the attention of the enemy. And so if you're going to a flagpole location, just know that you could see some incoming fire, but there's all the countermeasures that the U.S. uses to fight those things, to stop those things from impacting. And I won't go into detail there. Let's just agree that there's a lot of stuff to protect you if you go there. And lastly, the most important thing, when you go to a flagpole location, when you go to the headquarters base, it is going to have the best facilities. It only makes sense. That's where all the generals are. Do you think the general wants to use a crappy gym? Do you think the general wants to shop at some crappy little base exchange? No. So the generals and the colonels are used to getting the best of everything, and it continues on with their locations at the headquarters. They're going to have the best gyms, they're going to have the best dining facilities, they're going to have the best exchanges and the best shopping options and the best entertainment options that are there, just because it's the flagpole. It's where the headquarters at. They want to see nice things. Whereas if you go out to a satellite location, you're on a smaller base somewhere away from the flagpole, you kind of got to make do with whatever facilities you got. It'll still have a decent gym. There will be an MWR facility of some kind, but at the flagpole, you know those are going to be nice, new, awesome facilities and great equipment and all that. It's just always there when you go to the flagpole. It's gonna have the best, nice, newest stuff. Okay, so that's it. Really short and sweet today. Working at the flagpole, working at the headquarters locations, the generals, the colonels, they're gonna kind of step on each other's toes sometimes. You're gonna be basically putting up a big target that, hey, you know, telling the enemy, look, I'm in your face. So that's gonna be an aspect there, but you're also gonna have your most defenses there. And lastly, of course, you're gonna have the best facilities there that you could possibly have in that country at all, just because that's where the generals are working out. That's where the generals are wanting to go to shop for a soda or a lunch or some shoes or whatever they want to get. So it's gonna have the best facilities, the best equipment, the best cars, the best roads, the best electrical system, the best internet. If you go to a flagpole location, you've got the trade-off. You've got the politics and the kind of people making rules that contradict someone else's rules. That's just part of being there. You stay flexible because the benefit of it is that you're gonna have the best facilities there are. So that's it for this video. See you next time. Hit the like or subscribe if we're doing a good job. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching.